Before religion, we were spiritual. We have gone back to the Neolithic age and the early age of Cro-Magnon man, and we have found such sculptures representing Mother Earth, fertility. See, fertility, the source of creation, was seen very mystical to our ancestors. They're also seen as the key source of life and also represented a healthy life, strong living life to be able to succeed and live. It was empowering of women, as back then men and women were equal in the society groups. The oldest temple, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which is twice as old as the pyramids of Giza in Egypt and twice as old as the Stonehenge in England. This building goes back to 10,000 BC, possibly earlier. Now, it wasn't built for living purposes or even agricultural purposes or even for a king. In this temple, they have paintings exactly the same as the cave paintings of ancient man, where it was covered in animal paintings representing the spiritual guides. And also, they were replicas of the shamans who were entering altered states of consciousness. See, dreams in altered states produced meaningful sources of information for the entire community, which also contained deeper symbolic meanings, spiritual meanings within these stories, which they would paint on their walls. Now, they seem the same forces of energy or creation that makes up the feelings in us is also in the events of nature. Say, thunder could represent the earth is angry. When it was raining, it represented the earth was thirsty, and thus it was also similar to our emotions and the events that impacted reality. So they seen everything as energy. They seen us as energy, one with the source of creation. They were very, very spiritual people. Now, they would have paintings of lions representing the lion spirit, paintings of the eagle representing the eagle spirit. They would also have paintings of humans representing their ancestors, and sometimes paintings of half humans and half animals representing the spirit guides, as seeing reincarnation not just in humans but in animals, in all life itself. So they seen life as eternal. Now, these temples that were built were for gatherings of the communities. Even in Stonehenge, people gathered from across the world, from Germany, from the Celts in Britain and Ireland, from the people living in Scandinavia, would all go to this Stonehenge and lay their offerings there. So this is very interesting when you look at these events of the ancient past, where people tend to have the same cultural beliefs. And this was spread in vast amount of communities. And again, this goes back to the idea of spirituality. Before religion, we were spiritual. When written events become dogma, it became a religion that in turn divided the people and in turn set us back. But it also helped our advancement too. Though later, when the Aramaic faiths became dominant, was when humanity really went in reset mode. Now, in early religions, we would have shamans and spiritual leaders taking psychedelics, and they would enter these states of altered consciousness or dreams, and they would gather information from these sources to let their community know. Or they could be using these psychological experiences to be used as psychology to give someone's trouble a meaning of their suffering or the meaning of their happiness, to encourage happiness and ease the suffering of their community. See, our ancestors were very in tune with themselves and in tune with each other. They would treat each other when sick, when injured. We have found a Neanderthal man in Iraq who had a hand missing and a leg and a scar that blinded him one eye, and all these wounds were treated by his community. And they would see this as also, they would meet this person again the next life, and this person in turn would have to look after them, as it was a never-ending cycle. Peace and love, everyone. I love you all. Connect to one mind and soul. Namaste.